is Friday, August 21st, 2020, and you are tuned into Dirt Tracker Daily. I'm Justin Fiedler. Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series opened the Topless 100 weekend at Batesville Motor Speedway last night with a strong field of 48 cars on hand. As we've seen so many times this season, Jimmy Owens started on the front row of the feature, and he was quickly to the lead at the start. Dale McDowell settled into second, and Tim McCreadie was quickly into third from his fifth starting position. With only 30 laps in the feature, there wasn't time to make moves for the drivers in the race. Once inside 10 laps to go, McCreadie had moved past McDowell for second and was after Owens for the lead. Remember, it was just 1 week ago that McCreadie made a late move past Owens to win at Florence. Lap traffic allowed McCreadie to close on the Ramirez Motorsports 20, and with 2 laps left, McCreadie rolled the top side to take the lead from Owens. He held on over the final circuits to take the win on night number 1 at Batesville. Owens was second, McDowell third, Earl Pearson Jr. was fourth, and Billy Moyer Jr. finished fifth. These first 2 nights at Batesville are for points to set up Saturday night's 40,000 to win feature, so McCreadie, Owens, and McDowell are looking good in the standings after the first night. Tonight they will do it all over again with another 5,000 to the winner and more points on the line. Saturday's racing will include the consolation events and the 40,000 to win, 2,000 to start Topless 100. You can watch the racing live all weekend long on Lucas Oil Racing TV. The World of Outlaws Late Model Series was also in action last night, kicking off a 3-race weekend in Pennsylvania. Last night the series took on Lincoln Speedway for the first time in 15 years. The feature was 50 laps with 12,000 to the winner, and it was Dan Stone leading the field to green with Brandon Sheppard to his outside. Stone wasn't out front long though. Sheppard took the lead in turns 3 and 4 on the first lap and quickly put a gap on the field. Behind Sheppard, the battle for second was on between Ricky Weiss, Darrell Lanigan, and Rick Ecker. Through the race, Sheppard survived several restarts and was never really challenged out front. He drove away to his 12th win of the season. Rick Ecker finished second, Ricky Weiss third, Cade Dillard fourth, and Chase Youngins was fifth. Sheppard's lead in the standings is now 240 over Ricky Weiss, with Cade Dillard another 48 points back in third. Darrell Lanigan sits fourth, and Chase Youngins is fifth. Looking towards tonight and the weekend for the Late Model Series, the Outlaws have 2 more Pennsylvania races on the docket. Tonight they head to Williams Grove Speedway, and Saturday over to Erie Speedway. Brandon Sheppard is the most recent winner at Williams Grove back in 2019, and Chase Youngins won the series' last trip to Erie Speedway back in 2018. The DIRTRACKR.com analytics prediction formula favors Sheppard in both races. No big surprise there. You can watch the Outlaws all weekend long live on Dirt Vision with your Fast Pass. With only 3 nights remaining, the Summer Nationals were at Thunderbird Raceway in Michigan last night. Brian Shirley entered the night as the points leader, but this night would belong to Frank Heckenast Jr. Heckenast jumped to the lead at the start, and he dominated all 40 laps to win his second race this week and third on the season. Ryan Gustin finished second, Dona Marcoulier third, Brian Shirley fourth, and Brandon Thurlby was fifth. Heckenast cut into Shirley's points lead a bit, but with only 2 races left, Shirley would need to encounter some seriously bad luck to let Heckenast into the fight. After a DNF the night before, points leader Nick Hoffman was looking to bounce back in the night's modified race, and he did just that. He battled Casey Burdett early for the lead, but from there it was all Hoffman out front. He drove away to his 11th modified Nationals win on the season. With 3 more wins this season, he can actually break his own record for most wins in a season with the modified Nationals. Casey Burdett finished second, Hunt Gossam third, Jeffrey Erickson fourth, and Colin Thurlby was fifth. Tonight, the late models and modifieds head to Tri-City Speedway in Auburn, Michigan before closing out the year on Saturday at Merritt Speedway. Dirt Vision will have live coverage all weekend long. In U.S. MTS modified action last night, it was Tony Jackson Jr. picking up his first ever series win over Joe Duval in a wild race. Terry Phillips finished third, Rodney Sanders fourth, and Jason Hughes fifth. Rodney Sanders continues to lead the point standings, and the U.S. MTS modifieds have 2 more races this weekend, tonight at Lake Ozark Speedway and Saturday at the Salina High Bank Speedway. For more info, you can find that at usmts.com. We talked yesterday on the show about Darren Pittman confirming a positive COVID test and that his Roth Motorsports team would miss this weekend's World of Outlaws races. Since then, others have come forward with cases and more will miss out this weekend. The 11K team of Craig Kinzer will sit out this weekend with the Outlaws, and Paul McMahon confirmed that both he and wife Jan tested positive and that he would be replaced in the number 13 machine this weekend with the All-Stars. The team announced Justin Peck will replace McMahon at Wilmot and Plymouth. Tori Knutson also announced she tested positive along with a crew member and will park her car for the next few weeks. There have also been a smattering of other folks confirming positive tests that were in Knoxville over the weekend. We certainly wish everyone a speedy recovery and hope that other folks who are in and around Knoxville will certainly keep an eye on themselves. There were also statements from the World of Outlaws and Knoxville Raceway about what went on as well. Looking to tonight and the weekend, the World of Outlaws Sprint Car Series heads to North Dakota for a pair of shows. Tonight they take on River City Speedway, and Saturday they head to Red River Valley Speedway. Logan Schuchart is the current series points leader by 18 over Brad Sweet, with Donnie Schatz third, Carson Macedo fourth, and Sheldon Hodenshield fifth. Donnie Schatz is the most recent winner at River City's back last season, and he's won 3 of the last 4 races there. Logan Schuchart is the other winner at River City's. After a rough weekend at Knoxville that saw him finish outside the top 10 every single night, River City's couldn't be coming at a better time for Schatz. This is the perfect track for Schatz to get things going in the right direction again. He is favored by the DIRTRACKR.com analytics prediction formula, winning a tick over 7% of the simulated races run. David Gravel and Brad Sweet are also high on the list. The trip Saturday to Red River Valley will be the first for the series since 2018. Last year's stop was canceled, I believe, due to weather. Donnie Schatz was the winner in 2018, with Jacob Allen and Kerry Madsen rounding out the top 3. The prediction formula actually favors Kerry Madsen slightly over Donnie Schatz for the win on Saturday, with Madsen winning 6.2% of races and Schatz winning 5.9% of races. The formula also likes Logan Schuchart and Parker Price Miller. With drivers and teams missing because of COVID, it will be an interesting weekend for sure, but these tracks usually provide some really great racing. As for the series points, in that statement I just mentioned, Outlaw officials said drivers will receive points for these nights based on their average finish for the season until they are able to rejoin. So Darren Pittman and Craig Kinzer will receive those points based on their average finishes for the season. So we will definitely see some movement in the standings over these next 2 nights, depending on how things go. You can watch live all weekend long on Dirt Vision with your Fast Pass. The All-Star Circuit of Champions is back this weekend after a couple of weeks off. They take on Wilmot Speedway tonight in a co-sanction with the IRA Sprint Cars, and then head Saturday to Plymouth Speedway. Aaron Reitzel is the current All-Star points leader by 92 over Corey Eliason. It's been a rough stretch, though, for Reitzel, with his average finish over the last 5 races being 12.4. Very uncharacteristic for Reitzel, especially with the All-Stars. He hasn't won a series race in 13 starts, with his last win coming at Fremont back on July 5th. Eliason has knocked his points lead down considerably, and the Rudine 26 team seems to kind of have found something here as of late. They won the most recent race at Huset Speedway, and Eliason's average finish over the last 5 races is 5.4. For tonight, the prediction formula gives a slight edge to Eliason over Reitzel for the win. The All-Stars were last raced at Plymouth last season, with Aaron Reitzel winning that night over Brock Zierfoss and Greg Wilson. Reitzel is favored on Saturday night by the formula. If you cannot attend either race, you can watch the All-Stars live both nights on Flow Racing. You can find watch links for those events at DIRTRACKR.com/watchtonight. In a little bit of news yesterday, the World of Outlaws Late Model Series announced a new round of cancellations from the schedule. The events, which were scheduled to happen earlier in the year, were ones the series had hoped to reschedule, but because of all of the local restrictions around some of these racetracks, these just weren't allowed to happen. The canceled events include the Illini 100 at Farmer City, Hawkeye 100 at Boone Speedway, and then races at Wayne County Speedway, Cherokee Speedway, Cochran Motor Speedway, Moeller Raceway Park, Jacksonville Speedway, Tri-State Speedway, State Line Speedway, and Genesee Speedway. So far in 2020, the series has completed 33 events, with hopes to race another dozen times or so. To see a full list of the remaining races on the World of Outlaws Late Model Series schedule, you can visit worldofoutlaws.com. Before we close out for the week, we'll take a quick look at tonight's streaming schedule. Very busy weekend again for pay-per-view kind of across the landscape. Dirt Track Digest has 3 shows tonight: Can-Am Speedway, Albany Saratoga Speedway, and Outlaw Speedway. Dirt Vision with 4 shows: the Summer Nationals race from Tri-City. They've got weekly action from Attica, including 410s, 305s, and late models. They've also got the World of Outlaws Sprint Car Series from River Cities and the World of Outlaws Late Model Series from Williams Grove. Flow Racing, besides USAC 24/7, has the All-Stars and IRA Sprint Cars at Wilmot, and weekly racing from Marshalltown Speedway. Nice to see Marshalltown racing after the damage received in those Iowa storms here a couple weeks ago. Luke Soul Racing TV has another night from the Topless 100 from Batesville Motor Speedway. Power Eye TV has National Midgets and 600 Outlaw Micros from Lincoln Speedway. Race and Dirt has a pair of shows. They've got super late models and USRA modifieds at Mississippi Thunder Speedway and the USMTS modified show at Lake Ozark Speedway. And then Speed Sport has a boatload of shows tonight from Lernerville, Rapid Speedway, Gondik Law, Lake of the Woods, Dodge City Raceway Park, all kinds of stuff. So if you want to see that full schedule with links to check out those shows, you can find that at DIRTRACKR.com/watchtonight. And again, that will be a good place to keep up with all weekend long, with so many races happening through the next three nights or so. So check that out if you get a chance. That's it for the show this week. You can find Dirt Tracker Daily on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or where you get podcasts. Please subscribe and leave a review. That helps out the show. You can also watch the show every day on YouTube and Facebook. You can email the show at info@dirttracker.com, and you can follow along at facebook.com/dirttracker, twitter.com/dirttracker, and the website itself, dirttracker.com. You can follow me personally on Twitter at Justin_Fiedler, and don't forget to sign up for the Dirt Tracker weekly newsletter. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Hope you have a good weekend. We'll be back on Monday for more Dirt Tracker Daily.